যমুনা তীর বনচারী, যমুনা তীর বনচারী, জয় রাধা মাধব, জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী। হরে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ, কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে হরে, হরে রাম হরে রাম, রাম রাম হরে হরে। শিল প্রভাত কি জয়। হরে কৃষ্ণ জি।
Haribol Prabhu, very nice Prabhuji. So, devotees, let us begin with the auspicious our Mangala Charan chanting. Maybe Raghu Prabhu.
Yeah, I can do it. Hare Krishna devotees. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Krishna Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vichakan Vitamcha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Upa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Haribol Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Haribol. So, devotees, we are in chapter 10, the opulence of the Absolute. All the different opulences of Lord Sri Krishna. It's unlimited, infinite, but Krishna had already made a disclaimer in the beginning that he's only going to mention a few for all practical purposes. And the purpose of all this chapter 10, 11 is not so much for the devotees to know, because we know that Krishna is everything, each and everything, from the smallest of the smallest atom to the biggest manifestation, all the 14 lokas, several millions of lokas, everything comes from Krishna. But it gives us an opportunity to connect with Krishna every moment. When Krishna says, I am the sun, I am the moon, I am the Ganges, I am Vedavyas, he says, I am the Vedavyas. So when we think about Vedavyas, how powerful is Vyasdev is? Amazing. Is there any human being this planet has seen? Or, there's a good chance that nobody will even see anything like that. Thousands and thousands of verses of different Vedas. So, it is that way we have to connect with Krishna for everything. In the moment, here, Krishna, in the last verse, 10:34, he talked about death, sarvahara mrityu. And Srila Prabhupada has given the meaning as devouring death. Meaning, devouring is a very little bit strong word. It is something like swallowing. When an animal, very fearful animal, it kills for prey, it will attack. That's it. Gone. It is Mahaprasade Govinde. It will just gulp it. Same thing, fire. when it gulped, wildfire, we read in newspaper, TV, everything, so many acres of land have been caught in wildfire in West Coast. It happens in just, nobody can, extinguish it. It's so powerful. It swallows, actually. So death is such a strong thing, but not for devotees. Until death, it is said that, Shastra says, Acharyas have explained also, it is very painful. It is very, very painful. They say how, I'm not so detailed, but it is said that each and every part of our angas, one by one, it starts functioning. And during that moment, the last few hours, it is a very, very painful thing. One of the article I was reading, it said that it is like 10,000 Scorpios biting you. It is an unimaginable thing. But for devotees, it is like going from home to temple, from temple to a bigger temple, or from temple to, Goloka Vrindavan. That is because that's what we are practicing right now. It is said that this life is a preparation for that examination, which is death. And how we perform, whatever we have done so far, whatever we have prepared, only that much we'll be able to present for the examination. Otherwise, we'll think, oh, whatever I read, it did not come in the question. So, meaning, if you're not going to follow the instruction of Krishna, obviously we are going to fail in the examination. So that determines devotees, death leaves us with two things only. When Krishna says, Sarva Hara, everything he will take away. Nothing will go with us, not even a small needle. But there are two things that goes with when the body leaves. Any thought, devotee? What are the two things?
Our previous karma. Our previous karma.
Yeah, Atma and Karma. That's very true, Prabhu. Those are the only two things. Atma is eternal. So there is no way that it comes to an end. It's an eternal thing. What is that very famous verse in chapter 2? Na hanyate hanyamane sarire. This sarira is temporary, but that Atma is eternal. And then karma also goes with us, travels with us. Why? Because karma is going to determine what is our next project. Like in any, organization, after you work for some time, they give you another project. Either you get a promotion or sometime you can get a layoff also. You may be demoted also many times. We see that. So that is the entire purpose of our life we should make Krishna as our utmost important. That is the ultimate goal of our life. We have a family, we have our, material commitments, material duties, everything is fine. But ultimately, like in India, they have rental cars with drivers. The driver will be with you, maybe most part of the day, or even sometime 2-3 days, they will just stay with you. But their goal is not to be with you all the time. They also have a family. They go back. That is their ultimate goal. No driver would want to just be with you his entire life. So similarly, our job here, or when somebody travels on a plane or a train or whatever it is just the travel, that's it. You don't want to live in an aeroplane, however fancy it may be, however comfortable. You may get a very business class, all the facilities. But after a few hours, it bothers you. You cannot stay there. Similarly, in material world also, devotees, there will come a point sooner than later that this material world will not give us any more satisfaction. Not the money, not the opulence, not the name, not the fame, not the beauty, nothing will give us satisfaction. That's the moment, that is what we have to prepare right now. What will happen then? Am I going to be depressed? That is what is the entire world is going through, the depression. But when we have Krishna, we are very, very strong, very positive. We know that, hey, I have a goal. My goal is Krishna. Krishna will take care of me. So that is one he mentioned in 34. Then very briefly on Friday, we talked about the 7 opulences that are mostly related to women, feminine. It's Krishna only. Krishna is the Purusha. We are all non-Purushas actually, because Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam Sarvalokam Maheshwaram. We are for the enjoyment of Krishna. Krishna is the enjoyer. So everybody really becomes in one way or the other with a feminine quality. So he's talking about all the beauty, all the fame, the patience, and the chama, the forgiveness. All these are wonderful qualities. It is there in men too, but more prominent among the women. The patience, the loving, the purity. Not that men are not pure, but naturally, that is the qualities Krishna has given to them. Sri Pati, right? Sri is Lakshmi. That is well. But that Lakshmi will not be happy unless she is with Krishna. That's why it's called Sri Pati, Lakshmi Pati. Lakshmi will not be happy without Narayana. That is her ultimate. But what is happening in the material world, we just want Lakshmi. Lakshmi will not be with us for a long time if you're not going to keep Krishna also as part of Lakshmi. In the next few days, many parts of the world will be celebrating Diwali. Yeah. And in many, especially in the northern part of India, they do a very grand Lakshmi Puja. So the question here is that, yes, Lakshmi Puja doing is very, very auspicious, nothing wrong with that. But just seeking Lakshmi, the wealth, without really surrendering to the owner of that Lakshmi, which is Krishna, that will not give us again happiness. So devotees, we have very nicely explained in 1034. He is going to continue again here with more of such opulences. Again, these are all wonderful. This is amazing that Krishna is giving all this in such a practical way. This is nothing, we are seeing this, and we can realize, we can experience this on a day-to-day basis. So we are in 1035 devotees. Who can read?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Haribol.
10.35 बृहत् समा तथा साम्नं गायत्री छन्दसामहं मासनं मार्गशीर्षाहं रान्तूनं शुभ कुसुमाकरः. Back to you.
Very nice, Mataji. 2 more devotees.
I can try, Prabhuji.
Please, sir.
Briyat Shama Tatha Shamonam Gayatri Chandasam Aham Masanam Margo Shira Aham Ritunam Kusuma Karo. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Prabhu. Very nice. One more devotees. One more devotee can read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dara Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please go ahead.
Brihat sama tatha samnam Gayatri chandasam aham Masanam margasirsoham Rutunam kusuma karaha. Hare Krishna.
Haribol. A nice reading, Mataji. You read from the Sanskrit on the top or from English?
From the English, Prabhuji.
Okay. How did you say Dhritu Nam? Here, last one.
Ritunam.
Dhritu Nam. Okay. Very good.
Ritunam.
So you're used to this kind of reading? Because you said Masa Nam correctly. Many times, even I used to say Masa Nam.
I think it's because on my own, I'm also reading Bhagavad Gita. Like I started from chapter 1. So I've been, towards the end of chapter 2. So I think I read it 2 to 3 times each shloka. And then, so maybe that practice has been helping me a little bit. But yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
devotees, let us see how long is this purport. I think 2 devotees can read the purport. 1 devotee can read the synonym translation.
Okay, I can read the synonyms.
Okay, Prabhu.
Brihat Sama, the Brihat Sama. Tata also Samanam of the Samaveda, Veda songs. Gayatri, the Gayatri, hymns. Chandasam of all poetry, Aham, I am. Masanam of months. Margasirsha, the month of November to December. Aham, I am. Ritunam of all seasons. Pushma Akarha, spring.
Very good.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Of the hymn of the hymns in the Samaveda, I am the Brihat Sama. And of poetry, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am Mrigasirsha, November to December. And of seasons, I am flower-bearing spring. Hare Krishna.
Very nice, Prabhu. Devotees, who can read the purport? The first devotee can read the first two paragraphs. Then maybe one devotee can read the last one.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. May I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Purport Abhay Charana Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, Prabhupada ki Jai. It has already been explained by the Lord that amongst all the Vedas, he is the Samaveda. The Samaveda is rich with beautiful songs played by the various demigods. One of these songs in Bruhat Sama, which has an exquisite melody and is sung at midnight. In Sanskrit, there are definite rules that regulate poetry. Rhyme and meter are not written whimsically as in much modern poetry. Amongst the regulated poetry, the Gayatri Mantra, which is chanted by the duly qualified Brahmanas, is the most prominent. The Gayatri Mantra is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam because the Gayatri Mantra is especially meant for God realization. It represents the Supreme Lord. This mantra is meant for spirituality, advanced people, and when one attains success in chanting it, he can enter into the transcendental position of the Lord. One must first acquire the qualities of the perfectly situated person. The qualities of godness according to the laws of material nature. In order to chant the Gayatri Mantra is very important in Vedic civilization and is considered to be the sound incarnation of Brahmana. Brahma is interior and it passed down from him in disciplic succession. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Very good. Very nice reading, Prabhuji. Couple of very quick things so that we understand this. This is actually not Brahmana. This is Brahman.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Okay, sound incarnation of Brahman. It comes from Brahma. So there are three things changeably used. Brahma, which is, the Brahman, Brahma, which is Lord Brahma, and Brahmana. They are all three are involved in this Gayatri Mantra. But, it's very interesting. Who can read the last paragraph?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, then I can read. Hare Krishna devotees, then all goes to Shri Prabhupada. The month of November, December is considered the best of all months because in India, grains are collected from the fields at this time. and the people become very happy. Of course, spring is the season universally liked because it is neither too hot nor too cold, and the flowers and trees blossom and flourish. In spring, there are also many ceremonies commemorating Krishna's pastimes. Therefore, this is considered to be the most joyful of all the seasons, and it is representative of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Any additional thoughts, Prabhu? Prabhu, you read the Subal Prabhu? Any
Hare Krishna,
additional?
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji. So here, Lord Krishna is saying that of all the hymns, Samaveda, he's a Brihat Sama, and the poetry, the Gayatri Mantra, we know how important it is. And of the months we see now, November, December is very, very, very important of all the seasons, because at this time we have a lot of festivals, including, like Kartik month, I mean, all this, Diwali festival, and of course, in India, it is mentioned as like, this is the time where the grains are collected from the fields, and of course, people are very happy. And of course, in the spring also, people are happy because, that's best of all the times. But of course, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. As we know, he is the cause of all causes, and that is the reason. And here it is also mentioned about the Gayatri mantra. Is chanted by the qualified brahmanas. It is most prominent, as we see even if we go to the Hindu temple or anywhere. And this is the Gayatri mantra is also mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is mentioned that especially the God realization happens with the Gayatri mantra. Of course, our Mahamantra, we sing Hare Krishna mantra, but even Gayatri mantra is also in general very important in the Vedic civilization, and is considered, as you mentioned, the incarnation of Brahman. And of course, it is given by none other than Lord Brahma, and it has been coming along. That's my understanding, Prabhuji. Please have Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you. Devotees, any more thoughts on this? Some very important points to be understood. I mean, there's quite a few things we can learn from here. First is Krishna is talking about the Vedas, especially the Sama Veda. Then he's talking about the mantra, Gayatri mantra, very powerful. Then he's talking about the months, Margasirshna month, especially in the southern part of India, it's very, very relevant. They do many festivals happen. As Prabhuji mentioned, it is also many times, it is the Govardhan Puja, Diwali, all comes in November. Then, you have Vaikuntha Ekadasi, you have Gita Jayanti, very auspicious days, those 2 months. And of course, of all the seasons, he's saying, I'm in the spring. Of course, we know our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Gaur Purnima, is celebrated during the springtime. So, like this, he's giving us an opportunity again to relate everything. When we hear all the chantings of the songs from Samaveda, our mind should, it is the vibration itself is very, very energetic, very positive. However, we should also bring Krishna into the picture. Oh, Krishna, you are so merciful. But everything is coming from you. This beautiful chanting, the Gayatri mantra or the Samaveda song, everything emanates from Krishna. Another opportunity. Instead of just taking everything as mechanical, when we drive during spring, or even now, maybe, shall we call this as a fall? The temperature has cooled down a little bit. It's very enjoyable. It's not that much hot. It's very kind of a pleasant. But when we enjoy that moment, we should also thank Krishna. Krishna, again, you are so merciful. You are giving us all this experiences, right? Florida may not have the 4 seasons, but in many other parts of the country, many other parts of the world, there are 4 seasons. There is a spring, there is a summer, there is a fall. Each brings its own quality. Spring, the new flowers all, they bloom. And in the fall, they all fall down. That's why it's called fall, right? Autumn. And winter is, normally it is colder than the other months. So it's a very nice cycle of experience that one can go through. So devotees, any more thoughts on each one of this? If you have anything to say, like the Vedas and the Gayatri Mantra, the months, the season, 4 things at least Krishna is talking about. Yes, Dharamata.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I actually just had a question about Gayatri Mantra is what we are given, one would be given in second initiation, Brahmanic initiation. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we are not to really devotees not to chant it until after that. If they do happen to take, second final diksha.
There are 2, Gayatri Mantra is very powerful, as powerful as what we chant in the Mahamantra, because it's Krishna only. Mahamantra is also Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gayatri Mantra also, Om Bhur Swaha Tatsa Vidurvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Very powerful. It is Krishna God realization only. But there are 2 very important requirements for chanting Gayatri Mantra. First of all, you have to chant only in the mode of goodness. Not while you are driving. Driving is not bad. But at that particular moment, that's not the best moment to think about God. You can. But Gayatri Mantra, the location should be very pure. Your mind should be very pure. Your body should be very pure. You should take a bath and then only you can chant. That is number one. Unless, if you don't have this, you cannot chant. Like it is like taking a medicine. The doctor says this medicine you have to take an empty stomach. There is a reason why they say that for certain medicine, certain tablets or capsules, because that is the way it works best. We can eat all our stomach full and take the medicine also, but the effect of the medicine will not be to the fullest benefit. Same thing with Gayatri. If your mind is not pure, if you're not physically pure, if the environment is not pure, it loses its power. That is one. Number 2 is that Gayatri Mantra per Shastra, it is prescribed only for those who have taken a Diksha. Typically, in a country like India, in the Vedic culture, you should get a Diksha. The Brahmanas normally would get a Diksha from the priest. On those days, maybe 100 years ago, at the age of 7 or 8, the boys used to get the Upanayanam, that is what it is called. They used to get the thread. And that day, they have to chant Gayatri Mantra through their entire life. And they also do chant this many, many times, but at least 3 times, one in the early morning, one during the noon period, and one before the sunset. In a very, very, very concentrated way it has to be done, not to be done in a casual way. So now let us come to Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that does not mean you chant carelessly. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful. He's allowing us to chant even casually. Otherwise, people like me, they don't even qualify to chant Mahamantra. Because this has been chanted by great Lord Brahma is chanting this his entire lifetime. 311 trillion years. He doesn't have time. He's chanting. All the devas and devatas are chanting this. Srimati Radharani is chanting on this. Srila Prabhupada has been chanting all this. Like all our acharyas, parampara, they have chanted. Madhvacharya, non-stop. So where do people like me stand in this? But only because of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even like, who are the two characters, Subal Prabhu, Jagai Madai? Even he allowed them to chant, even though they were, they had done all the sins, possible sins. He said, look, yeah, you can chant that too. And that, of course, Nityananda Prabhu also. First, we have to seek the blessing from Nityananda Prabhu. Once if he approved, otherwise, our mind is not that pure, devotees. Even though we chant, at this moment, our chanting is mostly a mechanical process. Somehow I have to complete the 16 round. That is the goal. That's good. There's nothing wrong in that. But are we really invoking Krishna with each Hare Krishna? Are we? Because there is no guarantee whether we would be able to chant the next time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There's no guarantee. Each Mahamantra could be our final Mahamantra. So are we going to chant it in a very, very casual way, or are we going to take it very seriously? That is the Krishna consciousness elevation process. The more and more we take the chanting, reading the books, association with devotees, all of them counts, But the question is that how sincerely, how lovingly I am going to do this for Krishna. Shraddha, very important. Shraddha will bring sadhana. Sadhana has to be very, very strong. So in Gayatri Mantra, the sadhana is to be extremely strong. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is merciful. He says, okay, even if you're not that strong, you can still chant. Devotees, I want to show a couple of slides, but before that, any thoughts on this verse? I will answer you, Dara Mataji, I'll answer you a little more on the chanting of Hare Krishna, Gayatri Mantra. Typically, in the Gaudiya, whatever the philosophy that we are following, only after you get the second initiation, you are supposed to chant the Gayatri Mantra. Because Gayatri Mantra is a Diksha Mantra. Your Guru has to sanction it. Otherwise, it doesn't have any power.
Yes, Prabhuji, you answered it really well. Thank you.
Correct.
Hare Krishna.
Devotees, any more thoughts before I show some slides?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I cannot remember the reference, but it's somewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam. It says that from Krishna's flute, Gayatri mantra is coming from Krishna's flute. He sings Gayatri mantra. I forgot the reference, Prabhuji. It's in Srimad.
Everything is from Krishna, no doubt about it. But maybe Gayatri Mantra is giving it through Lord Brahma. Here, Srila Prabhupada is saying that Brahma is its initiator. But everything is from Krishna, Mataji. You are right. Each and every. Where did Lord Brahma got Gayatri Mantra? From Krishna only. Because Brahma didn't have any clue at all. For several yugas, he didn't know what is his role or where is he. Only it was black hole. But Krishna gave him all the knowledge, the wisdom, and then he gave him the project of all this procreation. And you are right, Mataji. That's true. Any more thoughts, devotees?
Yeah, one other thing. Here in the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning how the Sanskrit verses have to be written according to definite rules. They cannot be written whimsically like the modern poetry. So the meters and so on. Even reading the verses, it's not straightforward. I know we read it, but still, it's not that simple. So I don't know. Maybe you will comment on that.
Prabhuji, it's a very good point. But Srila Prabhupada has already answered to that also. I personally don't chant any of the chant or read any of the Bhagavad Gita verses in front of my wife. My wife is little more interested in the pronunciation and things like that. Whenever I say something, she would say, why are you're not even pronouncing the words properly. Please, you should not chant Bhagavad Gita verses at all. This is serious. I'm not saying this is a joke. I don't really normally chant. But Srila Prabhupada has wonderfully explained this. One time he had taken some of the Western devotees to India and he asked them to chant the Bhagavad Gita verses. Then some of the scholars who were sitting there, they came to Srila Prabhupada. They said that, yeah, you are very wonderful devotees. But one thing though, their pronunciation is not good at all. This is not Sanskrit. This is not the way you should recite Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada said that, yes, I know that, but you have to understand something. Their renunciation is so high. Look at these young American boys and girls. They have left everything. Look at them. Look at their forehead with all the tilak. Look at their sari. Look at their following our Vedic culture like anything. They made this their lifestyle. That is what is more important. So with that, again, only with the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada, even though we are not great scholars and, major reciter or preacher of Bhagavad Gita in the Sanskrit way, you are right. Sanskrit has got a separate meter. Even within the Bhagavad Gita verses, we could see some of them, most of them are in the 4 words. Suddenly you will find quite a few, they come in the 5 or 6 words, and we don't know how to chant those. It has got a separate way of chanting. And Bhagavatam also, many of them, and many of the Vedas, like even the Rig Veda, Samaveda, we won't be able to chant because we don't have the practice, number one. And you have to learn that. You've got to go to a Veda Patshala to learn exactly how to pronounce that. But again, we have to take the essence of the chanting. What is the purpose? But if my Sanskrit is bad and my mind is also bad, that is the worst case scenario. I mean, at least I should be chanting nicely or I should be thinking about Krishna. But if I'm not doing either, that's not a very desirable situation. So, go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for explaining that to Prabhuji. Actually, from his Pran Govinda Prabhuji's class, I learned that he mentioned about this rhythm meter because with this rhythm, with this meter, we are able to express our deep feelings. Like when I'm reading something, just straight reading, it does not attracts our mind that much. But if we put the rhythm like a music or some kind of meter reading, that actually fills our heart more deeply. Prabhuji attracts our heart deeply. That's what he was explaining. That's why those meters rhythms are coming here.
Absolutely. Very good point, Mataji. Mataji sang the Brahma Samhita with a good, very nice tune and the meter. But Brahma Samhita can be also recited just like that. But as Mataji pointed out, when you do this in a very systematic way, structured way, people can follow it, they can understand it, and it will go into their mind and heart. It will stay. That's correct, Mataji. Devotees, tonight we will also read 2 verses from Bhagavatam, if it's okay. It's good to read at least 2 verses from Canto 10. But before that, are there any more thoughts, devotees, on this verse?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in the previous shloka, you were describing that 10,000 Scorpios at the end of our life pain. So, with my poor knowledge, I have studied in Telugu language Sri Garuda Puranam, Prabhuji. Everybody, almost the people will afraid about the read Garuda Purana, Prabhuji, but it is a very, very good Vedic book in our culture. But people doesn't know. Almost of the people are afraid to study the Garuda Purana in house or something. Like you, very good, big devotee, he scared me, you study, don't worry. In clean atmosphere, you sit and study. what I studied and what I know about the Garuda Purana, Prabhuji, it is nothing but a manual guide to us. It is prescribed by Lord Sri Vishnu to Garuda. So many doubts, like in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asked, like Garuda asked so many doubts regarding our humans. What is the power of Garuda Purana? What to do and what not to do? What are the punishments? I have studied with my poor knowledge, Prabhuji. I have studied only, I am not even a 12th class completed, Prabhuji. If you found any mistakes, you please excuse me. Why can't we read Garuda Purana also? That is my humble request through you, sages, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Very good, Prabhu. Yeah, Garuda Purana is good, but the thing is that Bhagavad Gita is recommended by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said that if you read Bhagavad Gita, you have read everything, and if you can follow it, even Bhagavad Gita, we are not able to understand fully, number one, Prabhu, and follow it is another big task. So we have very limited time. Otherwise, you are right, Garuda Purana is good. There are so many other Puranas also. Brahma Vaivarta Purana details several episodes of Leelas between Krishna and Srimati Radharani. They're all there. There are so many. Vishnu Purana is there, Narada Purana is there, Skanda Purana is there, Padma Purana is there. But we have only limited time. The 700 verses we are not able to grasp. It doesn't stay in our mind, and we are not able to implement. That's the main thing. So before even completing this, if you are going to go to other Puranas, we can try one time. We can try to read. No problem.
Okay,
certain chapters of Garuda Purana, we can show it. So devotees, very quick. If I can show you something. Okay, this is a kind of a summary of all different, maybe I'll share this in our group, of various personalities Krishna is referring to. Of all demigods, he says he's Indra. Of the Adityas, he's saying Vishnu. Like that, so many. Let us see if you can go up a little bit more. Hare Krishna. And here, the one that we were reading, last verse, 1034, is saying Vajra, we read, right? The thunderbolt. And then in 34, he's saying, I'm all devouring death. Like this, in the poetry, he's saying is Gayatri. So this is a nice kind of summary illustration of all the different references he is giving in chapter 10, especially from 1020 to 1039. I'll post this in our Vedic group if that is of any help, So that is one thing. And we were talking about the Vedas, right? As we know, devotees, there are 4 Vedas, the Rig Veda, the Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda. Krishna has already mentioned this, right? Pitaham Asyo Jagato Mata Data Pitamaha Vedyam Pavitam Omkara Rig Sama Yajur Evacha. He's telling Arjuna, I am your father, your mother, grandfather, grandsire. I'm also all the Vedas. So Rig Veda is the oldest. Sama Veda, as Krishna is explaining, this is a melodious song in a very, very, rhythmic way. And Yajur Veda is, how to follow the Rig Vedas, all the, focus on worship and rituals. Then Atharva Veda is more of for knowledge purpose, learnings, Now, these 4 Vedas plus the Upanishad, they are considered as Shruti, meaning our understanding Acharyas are saying that these 4 Vedas and the Upanishad, 108 Upanishad, were heard by the sages initially from Krishna only. And then followed by the Puranas and the Itihas. Puranas is the 18 Puranas, Of course, our Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost of all the Puranas. And then the Itihas, the Ramayana and Mahabharata, and the gem, the essence of all these Vedas is Bhagavad Gita. That is called Smriti. Krishna is saying in chapter 15, Mattaha Smritir Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Arjuna, I am the remembrance, I am the knowledge, I am also the forgetfulness. So these Vedas all how much can we read? Rig Vedas, several hundreds of verses, Samaveda, several hundreds of songs. Best thing is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us, if we can just chant the Mahamantra very sincerely, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is equivalent to have read all this. It's equivalent to that. So we should concentrate more on chanting, improve our quality of chanting, and please always bring Krishna into the chanting. Each and every word, maybe one of the class, many of us might know, there is a emotion for each of the Hare. The Hare Krishna, meaning the first Hare Krishna means, Krishna, please give me Shraddha. The second Hare Krishna is that, Krishna, you are this mantra has got all the opulences, all the qualities of you in this mantra. Third is you're seeking the third Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. It means you're seeking the blessings from your acharyas. If you are initiated from your Guru Maharaj, if you're not initiated from all the Srila Prabhupada, all the other acharyas. So like this, each, Hare Krishna has got a very powerful mood you have to invoke. So Krishna is saying that out of that Samaveda is the Brahat Sama, which is the essence of those songs. Very powerful. So here is very quickly, devotees, this is Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra is considered as a purification process of all the body, the mind, and your body, mind, words, everything. So here it goes. Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha. These are all the three different platforms. Bhur is the material platform that we are in. Bhuva is the space between that material platform we are in and the Swargaloka, the celestial world, right? Where this is all the space, where is the moon planet is there, the sun planet is there, and above that is all the Swargaloka and all the other lokas. And then the meaning here is that the material world, the physical world, the celestial world, the supreme being, the source, Krishna, to be worshipped. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tatsavatur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Please give me that intellect to understand that everything is emanates from the supreme being, the source. You are thanking every time. But this, Krishna himself is saying through Brahma that this has to be chanted in the perfect mode of goodness. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us an option to chant Mahamantra. Not that Mahamantra has to be chanted in a very less casual mode, not at all. But even he knows, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows our challenges. He knows our deficiencies. So he's giving that. But for this one, this is for elevated personalities who has made up a very strong determination. And this, to answer Dara Mataji's specific question, in ISKCON, under this Srila Prabhupada's, Gaudiya philosophy, once if you get the second initiation, on that day, your Guru Maharaj will give you this mantra. So this mantra already, it is there on the website, freely available. What is happening now, devotees? In India, they are playing Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha and people are dancing for that, as if it's a Bollywood song or something like that. Any puja or any social gathering, they just put this. It is being sung in different tunes and things like that. Actually, our Shastra says you cannot do that. This cannot be chanted by everybody. You can, it will not have any power at all. So, whoever is taking the second initiation, they'll be instructed The Gayatri Mantra gets the power from the Guru Maharaj. He will tell you, okay, from now onwards, you have reached the status of this purified level, Brahmana level. You have to chant. Okay, so many you might have seen in ISKCON who are taken the second initiation, they will even sometimes they have to chant it, within a specific time also. You cannot suddenly chant at midnight. So you may see that they may just go to a corner of the temple or a corner of the room or wherever they'll sit down and chant. Many times you would see the priest, he would offer the bhoga to the lordship, whether it is Gaurnitai or Radha Krishna or Jagannath. Then they will sit as part of their offering, they will also chant Gayatri Mantra. Very powerful. So anyhow, I made some more notes here. We may not have enough time, devotees. So what we will do now, let us read 2 verses from Bhagavatam. Anyhow, before we go there, any thoughts or questions, devotees, on Gayatri Mantra or the Vedas, the 4 Vedas? Okay, anyhow, to answer Shyam Prasad Prabhuji's request, Prabhu, as time is very limited for us, so maybe one of the class we can read some portion of Garuda Puran, because Prabhuji has mentioned about Garuda Puran repeatedly. So maybe one of the weeks we can read. Okay, devotees, chapter 10, very auspicious chapter. Parikshit Maharaj has been waiting for this so patiently. Out of the 7 days, 6 days, he has been listening to everything else. What is the creation? What is the secondary creations? Now Sukamuni is talking about Krishna. So this is 10.1.3. We read 1 and 2 the other day. One devotee.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Tanda Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Can I read, Prabhuji?
Please.
Avathiriya Yadorvam se Bhagavan Bhutha Bhavana Krutavan Yani Viswatma Tani no Vada Vistarat. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, back to Prabhu.
Haribol. Who can read the translation, devotee?
I can read, Prabhuji. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Super Soul, the Supreme Personal Godhead, Sri Krishna, the cause of the cosmic manifestation, appeared in the dynasty of Yadu. Please tell me elaborately about his glorious activities and character from the beginning to the end of his life.
Haribol. Devotees, please read. Who can recite this? Bhashwati Mataji, you want to recite?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'll start. Bhagavatam 10.1.4. Nibratta tarse rupagiyamanad bhavaushchadat charutra mano viramat ka uttama sloka gunanu vadat puman virajayata vina pashupnat.
Devotees, who can read the translation?
Yeah, I can read it. Glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is performed in the Parampara system. That is, it is conveyed from the spiritual master to disciple. Such glorification is relished by those no longer interested in the false, temporary glorification of this cosmic manifestation. Descriptions of the Lord are the right medicine for the conditioned soul, undergoing repeated birth and death. Therefore, who will cease hearing such glorification of the Lord except a butcher or one who is killing his own self? Thank you.
Haribol, very nice, Prabhuji. So, devotees, that's what it is. Very auspicious days, Damodar month, and I'm sure many of us, or most of us, all of us, are doing the Damodar Ashtakam every day as much as possible. Offer at least 1 ghee lamp sometime in the morning or evening. Think about Krishna. That's the key thing, devotees. Thinking about Krishna is becoming the challenge thing. Otherwise, everything we are able to read somewhat, there is some association, but how can we bring the purity, the pure, Shuddha Bhakti? How can we bring it? Baldesva Prabhu, please guide us. How can we bring the pure love for Krishna? I'm
So
sure
very
I'm
easy.
showing the ghee lamp, but my mind is somewhere else. I mean, I'm not even.
Prabhuji, I have a ADHD. I cannot answer this question. I can hear from other devotees. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Subal Prabhu, how do you bring the purity?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Mataji there, you have your mother there, everybody is surrounded, so you are always feeling Vaikuntha.
No,
What
Prabhuji.
about other people? How are they going to think about Krishna, Prabhu?
Only with the association of devotees like you, Baldev Prabhu, Raghu Prabhuji, Baswati Mataji, always nice Vaishnava association, Prabhuji. Only with the association that is possible, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Then create a separate, Loka, Tampa Loka for, Krishna Loka. You have to create one for Krishna where, we can every day, we can, at least most part of the time, we can be there. Bhashwati Mataji, how do we bring the pure love for Krishna?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. As Prabhuji says, association, and it's very important of like-minded devotees. And second is Prabhuji, Acharya's Guru's mercy. Prabhu always pray to Guru Dev that please give us pure love for Krishna. Only Guru can give us the pure bhakti, pure love for Krishna. And that's Prabhuji, I just would like to add.
Yeah. But devotees, I know the time is almost 9:01. Are we able to relate to Krishna in all the daily activities we do? I'm taking this as a suggestion and tips how I can improve myself. Are we able to do that, Raghu Prabhu?
It's not easy, Prabhuji. But in addition to what everyone has been saying, I think when we chant, trying to hear what we're chanting and try to improve our chanting. It's a very long process, but we try and improve that as much as we can. I think then we can, because the name of the Lord and His form are the same. So that's what we have in this Kali Yuga. So that's why it's important to chant as carefully as possible.
Very good. Dharamataji, we'll hear the final thoughts from you, then we'll conclude tonight's class.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I am no one to, I think, you all are senior devotees. I think I should receive guidance from you all on how to, very purely perform devotional service and, sincerely chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But I just always surrender every day to Krishna. I remind myself I'm surrendered because sometimes Maya gets a, hold a good grasp and I forget that, oh, wait, why am I worrying about the future? Why am I planning again about this and that? Let it all, let Krishna do everything. So I just learned from devotees like you, like Baswati Mataji was saying, association of like-minded devotees, and then I just surrender every day. I remember that I've surrendered, and Krishna, I think, just takes care of the rest. The only thing I do ask is for bhakti and bhav, like Prahlad Maharaj. So that's it, Prabhuji. Please, you guide me on how to, how I can please Krishna during this Damodar month.
Right. Yeah, true. A very nice reflection, Mataji. It's very true. Association is the key thing. I know it's 9:03, but I want to share something. The association should be so strong. Anyone been to Howrah Station? Maybe I have said this before. In Howrah Station, I was born and raised in Calcutta, devotees. Howrah Station is considered as the busiest station or any kind of interaction you can find. Thousands of people. And in those days, like 30, 40 years ago, Let's say there is a train going from Calcutta to Asansol. Asansol is a nearby town, about 3-4 hours in train. 1:30 is the time. You are standing in platform number 15, and the time is almost like 1:15, 1:20. There is nobody in the platform. Nobody. You're just 1 and 2, 3 guys, the tea vendor and coolie type, By 125 devotees, this wave of crowd, 10,000 people will come from where you never know. They'll come and they'll just drag you. If you're standing in the platform, you have to get into the train some way. They'll just pick you and you'll be drawn in the ocean, in the wave. You will not know what happened. It's like a tsunami, tornado. They'll come and take you, they'll put you inside the compartment. You don't know which compartment your tickets or not, nothing. Association should be such strong. We have to be in a crowd where Baldesa Prabhu will come and he will just drag us to, come on, it's too late. What are you doing in Tampa still? Come on, we have to go. So association is very important, devotees, but we are all trying, we are aspiring. ISKCON Tampa is a phenomenal platform. We are in the best situation. So with that, devotees, we'll conclude here. One chekal patrabhyas chekripa sandubhya eva chapatitanam pavanabhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. ISKCON Tampa Sankirtana ki jai. ISKCON Tampa Bhagavad Gita studies ki jai. All goes to the assembled devotees. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Bol, Prabhuji.
Hare Bol. His Grace Sri Ram Prabhu ki jai.